Okay, folks, so figured I'd come out today. It was really a nice day out. It's the first time I've been out here in a while due to the weather being a little uncooperative, I guess you can say. And figured I'd run some track or trains. I had to clean the track up first, so that was one thing. But I figured, you know what? I got two locomotives here that I just got, and they needed to be speed matched with everybody else. Well, for some reason, I could not get these two to speed match with everybody else. So I had to speed match everybody else with them. So that took a bit of a progress. Luckily, once again, I wrote everything down. But it got me thinking, you know what, I haven't done one of these in a while, so let's go ahead and get a locomotive roster update. So, bit of a disclaimer, not disclaimer, but bit of a note. 5841 here. For whatever reason, during the process of the move to the new house, something happened to it and it didn't run for a while. And I was like, okay, I got two of these, so let me take this one apart and see what's going on. And I got everything back wired up. There was apparently a wire from the decoder to the truck that it came loose, and I was like, okay, well, that's an easy fix. I put it on the track and it just immediately started going. I didn't do nothing, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with it and ask Jason, see what the heck I can do about it. And if it's no good, I may just use it as a background piece, as like maybe, I'm thinking of maybe something like a fire training display. Basically have like a locomotive sit off in like a corner of a locomotive facility and have some firemen train on what to do for locomotive fires, diesel fire, oil fire, things like that. So worst case scenario, that's what that 5841 will become. So let's go ahead and get the easiest ones out of the way, and that will be the scale trains. So I only got two of these so far. Very nice models, as you can see. I mean, everybody knows what the scale trains models look like nowadays, but shine a little light on it. I mean, these things are beautiful. I love them. A lot of people are like, well, yay or nay on scale trains, or not scale trains, but the ESU versus soundtracks. I don't care. I don't care. As long as the locomotives sound good and run good, that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, that right there is what looks nice. So, as you can see, I got two of the scale trains GP30s. And as I just said, these are great models. I love running them. But I was kind of a little bit on a B&O kick, or at least in this B&O freight service, Merger Blue. And wound up looking at trains.com, and I found these two puppies. And come over here, as you can see, they are GP9s with the original tsunamis. So great running locomotives. Only disclaimer that I've had on these two locomotives was these ones would not speed match with everybody else, as I just said, probably. So I basically had to take everybody else that runs. So basically that right there, I had to get everybody else running with them two. Took a bit of a progress, but that's where I come up with this. So eventually the GP30s here will get some weathering, just like their older brothers here, and get them to look nice. I may do one similar to these two, and I may do the other one just a bit lighter. I may even keep it looking like this right here and just kind of weather the underframe of it, so to speak, because I do like this blue. And the next thing I like to get is some GP38s or even some GP40s in this paint scheme or the C&O version, and it literally looks just like the paint scheme one here, except of course on the long hood it says Chesapeake and Ohio, and it's got the Chesapeake and Ohio Herald on the noses. So that's about the only thing, but it's not a do or die situation. I don't need them right now. So, but if I find them from Atlas, I'm going to probably grab them. Next thing is number 5841. Now, I'm doing some research on this locomotive, the real one. These engines were not painted in this Chessie system paint scheme until almost the mid 80s, and I model from 77 up to 81, and that's even stretching it. I probably do like 1980 at most. So this one here is going to be virtually looking brand new, like it literally just came out of the paint factory, and I'm going to pretty much leave them as is. Now there are some C&O GP7s that are painted in the Chessie paint scheme, but not this engine itself, not 5844. Next ones are some GP40s. So the only couple of noticeable differences on these two different engines are the horns. As you can see on 4122, it's got a 3-chime horn and it's painted blue, and the air hoses are behind the rock plow, whereas these ones are got a silver tipped, or not silver tipped, but they're painted silver air horns, and the air hoses are outside. And the difference in these locomotives is, I'm not sure if Chessie bought this one or B&O bought this brand new in the Chessie paint, or if it was a later over painted from the B&O blue to the Chessie paint. But 4310, 4294, and 4276 here were all brand new from EMD in 1978. So if these ones do get any kind of weathering, very, very light. And it'll mostly be, of course, on the rock plows and underneath of the trucks. 48 or 4122 here, I'm gonna have to definitely get him some weathering. because by 78, if I'm not mistaken, he was pretty, he got some weathering on him, at least, especially like I said, on the trucks here and a little bit up here towards the exhaust. So that'll be the next project, along with the 2 GP30s there. The next engine is I want to talk about, and it's on the train, it'll be coming around here in a second, is GM50 here. And this locomotive would have been from, again, brand new. This is a EMD 50th anniversary paint scheme that still runs today. I do not remember what CSX engine number it is, but it still runs to this day. And from what I've been hearing, that as soon as this locomotive retires, it'll go to the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum in Baltimore. So this one here will also eventually get weathering. And here they come now. So here he is. So he'll get some weathering, tone it down, of course. I don't want to do it too heavy, but he'll get some weathering done. Other locomotives that I plan on running is these two. And yes, they are Santa Fe Bicentennials. Again, 77 is pushing it for these two, because I think by 78, 79, they were repainted back into the Santa Fe freight bonnet, the yellow and blue paint. So the only thing that I will probably do to these is, I think I've already done it, but the herald that is on the side, the presidential seal, take them off and give them a little bit of a light weathering. So, and yeah, I do have 3 of them. There's the 3rd one. And the decoder out of 5700 is actually in here. So it may not be the right sound engine in it, but it sounds pretty close to me. And you know, 8 out of 10 times I'm running these things muted like this, because it does tend to get a little bit noisy in here with three engines on a train such as this. So, but that's it for locomotives. I do have two others that I forgot to bring out. As you all know, that is the Chessie System 614, which is currently being restored, or in the progress of being restored. I eventually want to send mine out and get it decodered, sound, LEDs and all that, and it needs a little bit of TLC on it. So that there will be a down the line, but for now I want to focus on this railroad, or this layout, as you know. So that's it for the locomotives. It's more than I honestly remembered having, or not really remember, but more than I thought that I had. I know I had a good amount, but when you get them all out and survey them like this, you forget how many locomotives you got. I think I forgot to mention the Western Maryland Overland there. It's a GP40-2 as well. It is basically like these two. It's painted in Chessie system, and the only noticeable difference on this is it does come with the K5 horn, but there are no grade crossing marker lights that are up there, or the beacons. I forget what they're called. The grade crossing safety lights. And that's these little lights up here. So eventually I will probably try to do my own decoder work on that one, get some LEDs in it, and hopefully get that running. It needs some decals, and the only decals that it needs are the numbers on the sides, and I'll eventually get them done. But other than that, that is it for locomotives. Quite a group of them, I gotta admit. So this video is going on long enough. Until then, I will talk to you all later. If you have any questions on any of these locomotives, let me know. Till then, I will chat to you all later. Bye for now.